There are monsters lurking around us, obscene objects that should never exist, items of pure terror. They come in all shapes and sizes, but the one we are looking at today is no ordinary car. In fact, it's not even a car, it's an SUV. Hello and welcome to Lorvik Luxury Cars. I'm Harry, and if you were huddled in the corner of your room terrified at the prospect of what was coming up, I do apologise if you don't think a Jeep Grand Cherokee is all that intimidating. But bear with me on this one, because this particular Jeep Grand Cherokee just so happens to be the most powerful SUV in the world. Now, under the bonnet of this Jeep is a 6.2 litre supercharged Hellcat V8, which puts out a pretty impressive 522 kilowatts of power and 868 newton meters of torque. Now, to put that into perspective, the Lamborghini Urus only puts out 476 kilowatts of power, and the Bentley Bentayga Speed a pathetic 467 kilowatts. Now, that all translates into a 0 to 100 time of 3.7 seconds and a quarter mile of 11.6 seconds. That is supercar quick. Stepping inside, it's clearly a Jeep, with exception to the sportier than expected seats and a button which says launch. But other than that, it's a normal, comfortable, practical SUV. So let's see how terrifying and how hard the world's most powerful SUV goes. Should probably get back in it, to be honest. To be honest, it's perfectly normal. It's very comfortable, I've got lots of buttons to push, plenty of safety kit. It's not until you read the specs that you realise that this car is probably an SUV of two different personalities. So as you probably work out, we write a script for this every week. The purpose being is that it means Logan, when he goes to edit the film, it can be nice and easy. He's got some structure to follow. So what that requires me to predict what I'm going to think of a car, whether I'll like it or not, even if I haven't driven it before. But to be honest, I never really expected the Trackhawk to be quite like this. It's really sort of knocked me for six, because it's a perfectly quiet and comfortable car. It's got everything I'd ever want. And the engine's still very smooth. It still has that sort of little lumpy American V8-ness, which we all like, but it's not overly intrusive. But when you put your foot down, this thing just goes like nothing else. It's insane. Jeep are fitted for good reason. The Trackhawk with the largest brakes ever fitted to a Jeep, a thing called Select Track, which optimises the setup to allow this thing to keep up with Porsches on the track, onboard telemetry, and cold air scoops in the front fascia, which consume 30,000 litres of air every single minute. So let's poke the bear and get this thing angry. Hold on. It's really hard to describe what a car like this is really like. I mean, it's more powerful than a Lamborghini Urus and way more powerful than a Bentayga Speed. That's a twin-turbo 6-litre W12. I mean, that is huge power in an SUV, a car which still has active differentials and can still presumably go over something, you know, as bad as wet mud. Probably won't be that great at it, but at least it can do it. A Lamborghini Huracan certainly can't do that. I really got into this car thinking I wouldn't like it. There are plenty of times I get into a car to do a Friday drive and I'm not overly enamoured with it, but I sort of have to find the good parts of it. But this car, I don't have to search, because there are so many things to love about this car and almost nothing not to like. I'm really struggling to find something that's actually not that great with this car. I mean, yes, the build quality is not as good as a Lamborghini, but you know what? This car is less than a quarter of the price. bang for your buck, there is nothing else on the market that's as good as this car. I really didn't want to like this car, but I cannot help but love it. A wolf in wolf's clothing. This is simply outrageous. The fact that the world's most powerful SUV still has a full-time active transfer case bogs my mind. Everywhere you look, there are little details which I love, like the door locking mechanisms which sound like a gun being loaded. It is a car that's not for the serious motorist. It's for someone that simply loves cars and who loves the fact that humanity pushes the boundaries for no other reason than, well, just because. I'm a complete sucker for loony cars. I absolutely love them. But you know what? I only like them occasionally because they're always on. They're always just utterly insane. But this thing is not. It's a perfectly comfortable and quiet car. But as soon as I just give the throttle even just the slightest massage, it goes as mad as a March hare. It is incredible. I love it. Ooh, went a bit fast there. And with just 710 kilometers from you, this is still virtually a new car. So come down to Lorbeck Luxury Cars and buy this insane, ridiculous, but utterly brilliant abomination of an SUV today before I do. We'll see you next week.